Daniel's Dread Tales is a show for grown-ups. It may contain adult language and adult themes. Please check the episode description for content warnings. Welcome back to Daniel's Dread Tales. I'm your host, Daniel Fernandez, and this week it's time to smash some buildings and become king of the monsters. We're playing Monster Force Terra by Ground-to-Goth Games, a fun powered by the apocalypse game that recreates classic kaiju flicks like Godzilla, King Kong, and all those other big old monstermans. And for this episode, we have a true king of the podsters, my old buddy Mike Christensen, a.k.a. SupergeekMike. So sit back, relax, and enjoy some clashing titans. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another exciting episode of Daniel's Dread Tales. This week, we're going to be playing some Monster Force Terra, as I'm sure I just said in the introduction. So, without wasting any time, let's take a look at some of our kaiju this week.
Hi, I'm Mike Christensen, and I am also known on the interwebs as SupergeekMike, and I am playing using the crustacean stat block. He is a alien god that, of course, the American news media has dubbed Cosmo Crab. His goal is to dominate the oceans. He doesn't care much for the creatures on land, although they keep firing artillery shells at him, so he does have to deal with them at some point. But they are secondary concerns. There's such little land on this planet. It's an afterthought for him. And, of course, he can be stopped with boiling water. So he does need to deal with these humans actually kind of quickly before all the water boils off the planet.
All right.
And I am excited to be here.
Well, we're glad to have you.
Yay.
Glad to play a game with you again. It's been a little bit.
It has been a minute, and for those who don't know, Daniel was my first ever GM. He's the one who got me into RPGs.
Yeah, you thought it was a bunch of nerdy shit that you didn't want to deal with.
I believe my exact words when you asked if I wanted to join were, "No, I think I'm okay."
Yes.
I was very similar.
It's a pretty common experience in my limited exposure.
Yeah. And let's go around with some of the show regulars here.
Hi, I'm Damien, regular around here, he, they. I am playing the mech, Device X0. It is a dragon-like robot mech thing that is powered by an alien bioprocessor. It's basically just following its programming to destroy all life native to the planet. However, there is one issue with that. It crash landed on the wrong planet. And it's apparently weak to acid.
Has it been going around killing things on the planet just sort of indiscriminately?
Yeah, pretty much. It's like it's pop out here and there.
Okay.
Cause some havoc. Take out peoples.
Destroyed a few cities and some armies.
Yeah.
Got it.
Maybe a giant lizard.
Oh, yeah.
And Damien, what was the character's name?
Device X0 is what it is known as.
Cool.
And Nathan?
Hi, I'm Nathan. Pronouns he, him. Another show regular. And I've made it pretty clear over the course of my life that kaiju shit kind of my thing. So, very happy to be here. I am playing a creature from the Unspeakable playbook, dubbed by the media as That Which Isn't, an eldritch horror pulled from its home dimension by a cult who believe it is here to destroy the planet. Actually, it's destroying the planet because it just really wants to go home. It has no real hostile intentions, but, like, it's mad. It wants to go back home and take a nap. Can you blame it? So its goal is to return to its home dimension, and it is weak to radiation from this dimension, which is just radiation, because I doubt we'll be going to the other dimension anytime soon.
Yes.
One would hope.
It'd be quite the ending.
Daniel furiously writes that down.
Yeah, no, I'm taking notes right now.
I'm Russell. I think I've been here before. He, they. I will be playing a character from the Digger playbook. Long ago, before shrugging off the chrysalis of its mortality, it had a human name. Now lost over the untold epochs of time. It is known simply as Jeffrey. It's sort of a giant worm thing with gray sliming hands. It just wants some food. Its food, of course, is the hairless apes running around all over the place. The weakness of this digger is, of course, as we all know, birds.
Just birds.
Birds.
Well, we do know ground type are vulnerable to birds. So.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
It's true.
Are you now? Would you say you are afraid of birds, or are they just they hurt you? What do you mean by birds?
I just think I'm a delicious snack to them.
So just like a hawk might come down and try to take bites out of you,
Yeah.
and there'd be nothing you could do.
Yep. Ah, fucking seagulls.
Now, Daniel, do you have
Yeah.
any experience running a game where someone's afraid of birds, colorful or not? You don't really know how to play that.
No,
right?
no, it's kind of a big step for me. I've never really dealt with people who are afraid of birds. Christ.
I also have to admit, I'm so glad someone went with the normal human name for their character. I was so tempted.
Yeah.
This morning I was like, ooh, should I throw out everything and make a monster named Daniel and just be a complete anarchist in this moment?
God, that would be so chaotic. I am just recalling that I ran a Star Wars game for a little while, which I don't think you were part of that, Mike, but they owned a cantina at one point.
Oh, yep, that was us.
That one? Were you part of that
Yep.
one where you owned the cantina called the Spaceship, and their spaceship was called the Cantina?
No.
I'm sorry.
No, there was a third place we owned.
Oh, okay.
I don't remember what it was, but that was called the spaceship, and then the third.
Oh, they owned like a racetrack, right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Christ.
Complete nightmare.
That was
Also, I neglected to mention this in the intro, but my pronouns are also he, him.
okay.
Nice.
Thank you. All right. Well, now that our fun introductions are out of the way, let's get to it. Imagine that this is some text that's going up the screen at the start of our movie here. Or maybe it's reported on through newscasters and stuff. I don't know. Pick your particular montage of choice.
All of the above?
Yeah. The Aerox have come to Earth. They have placed their massive city ships over much of the world and have destroyed the humans that have tried to challenge them with their deadly heat rays from their deadly robo-spider walkers. The only communication they have sent to the planet is this, repeated in thousands of different languages. We are the Aurochs. Send us the most powerful being on your planet. They will prove their strength, face our champion, and then come with us among the stars. Interfere, and you will be destroyed. Many humans have stepped forward to come upon their city ships and prove their worth. None have returned alive. Presumably, none have proven worthy. It has been 3 weeks since these aliens have arrived. Now they seem no longer willing to wait. Now they begin to search for the mighty beings of planet Earth. They seek who will become the most powerful being on the planet. And it's probably going to be one of you guys. And they will destroy the planet if they don't find one. That's sort of our introduction. So, the aliens have been sort of chilling on Earth for a little while. Well, chilling above Earth. Destroying all of the feeble humans that have tried to fight them. How have your various monsters reacted to this, if at all? Do you think?
Cosmo Crab is not thrilled about people firing heat rays. He does not like that.
Yes, the heat rays that have been
imagine.
Yeah.
So he's been taking on the Robo Spider walkers whenever he crosses paths with them.
Yes. Okay. You've been just sort of battling them if they come near the ocean.
Yeah, battling them on the beaches.
Yeah. Coming out of the... Okay. How about you, Device X0? How do you react to the aliens that have come to Earth?
I think it's been a matter of, any that have gotten in my way, I've ended up fighting, just simply because, I'm, doing my job. I'm destroying all the life native to this planet, and now there's this thing that's in my way trying to, kill steal?
Yeah.
Can't have that shit.
Exactly. That's just rude. So yeah, been, fighting them when I've seen them, just not necessarily, going out of my way to search for them as yet.
Okay. How about you, Jeffrey?
Jeffrey doesn't take much notice of the surface things. He just spends a lot of time under the earth, just chilling out. He has noticed that his food source has become scarce of late, and he's sort of confused by that. Has to go further and further in his tunneling, and now there's just a vast network of catacombs.
Okay. And again, your food source is...
The weird hairless ape things that used to be all over the place.
Right, the hairless apes, right, of course. And what about you, that which isn't?
Normally, that which isn't would be perfectly content to just not deal with this, but a lot of alien technology runs on strange radiation, and it's kind of like it's giving that which isn't a headache, insofar as a creature that has simultaneously no heads and several heads can get a headache. So it's been fighting them on and off whenever they come close.
All right. Well, there comes a day when the Aerox come for all of you. Again, they have said that you are the ones... Well, they said they're looking for the most powerful beings on the planet. And let me tell you,
Careful
it's
what
not...
you wish for.
Yeah, it's not any of those hairless apes that get munched on by Jeffrey. So they have sent out their vast armies. Now they're sending out smaller spacecraft that are deploying tractor beams, trying to grab all of the various monsters on Earth. Do we think there's any other big kaiju on Earth, or do you think it's just you guys? I think it's probably just you guys.
Zilla's there, but we kill him in a very quick fight scene.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I think Device X0 would have taken out Notzilla.
Okay.
I
Well,
approve.
that's I will miss the big guy, but okay. So yeah, I think we'll go sort of one at a time going down here. And you're all gonna end up together. It's a role-playing game. But actually I had one more question before we do that. So that which isn't, what is your cult doing to react to all of this? How are they feeling about this?
That's right. I have one of those, unfortunately.
Yeah.
I think they've probably been trying to lead the ships towards me as a sacrifice.
Okay.
I'm kind of peeved about it, but what am I gonna do? They just keep on showing up.
All right. Well, I think that will lead to the first one. One of your cult members has, or several of your cult members have led the aliens, the menacing Aerox and their spider tanks and their tractor beam ships to where you have been living. And their tractor beams are going to try to grab you and pull you in to their city ship arena. What do you do about this? What do you do?
Well, I'm gonna try and not have that happen to me.
Okay.
I'm gonna fight back and smack these things out of the sky.
All right.
Everything is with size, but strike succeeds the normal way, right?
Yes, that is the for those of you who have probably not played this game before, and we are playing a lovely little hack of and I know I've probably said this in the intro, but we're playing a lovely little hack of Apocalypse World called Monster Force Terra by Ground Hagoth Games. And the sort of big thing about this is you only have one stat, and it's size. And sometimes being really big is good for you, and sometimes being really big will make things more difficult for you. But for smashing, you do want to be big. You'll see how it plays out.
Anyway,
what did you get?
A 5.
Okay, so you fail. The alien ship very easily, unfortunately, using the radiation that the tractor beam has, which is probably why it weakens you, pulls you up off of the ground and drops you into one of their mighty city ships.
Should I mark a damage from exposure to the radiation?
Yes, you should. Unfortunately, you had a full failure, so mark a damage. Okay. Let's keep going around. Device X0. The aliens have come for you. You see one of their massive city ships floating nearby. In fact, it's the same one. They really just have one giant city ship that's floating everywhere. And they have sent their spider tanks and their tractor beam ships after you. How do you react?
I'm gonna try and grab one of the spider bots first. Okay. I'm a big boy, so this is gonna be a little bit more difficult for me. I'm size +2.
Okay.
So come on, roll low. That is 7, 8, 9. I grab but inflict damage.
All right. So you grab the tank. You're grabbing one of these spider tanks. But
yep.
What is your plan to do with the spider tank? What are you planning on doing with it?
I'm throwing it at the thing that's trying to suck me up with the tractor beam.
All right. I think that makes sense. I think the damage is going to be, unfortunately, you damage this spider tank a little bit. It's going to be less useful as a weapon.
Oh.
Yeah.
So would I roll a smash to throw it at the city
Yes,
ship?
you'd roll a smash to use it as a weapon.
Oakley do. That is a 7.
All right. That means you exchange damage. So, you are able to smash down one of these ships, but unfortunately, they have more and more. They continue to blast you with heat rays, and continue to do damage to you. Yeah.
Hold on, I might have something for this. 'Cause I have transform.
Also, maybe try to get to the alien city at some point, but maybe it's because you're angry and you want to destroy it.
That's basically, you know what? Yeah, no, I'll let that slide.
Okay.
I'll just take the penalty dice.
Okay. Also, by the way, when you take damage, I believe I sort of left that out for you, that which isn't. I believe you do have to take a point of rage, right? When you take one,
you can choose to rage if you take damage.
Oh, you could choose to rage. Okay.
Actually,
Um,
I think I will rage.
You will rage. Okay.
And that is you roll a d6 and see what happens as well.
I like that sniff is an option for raging. Oh, I'm so angry I'm gonna smell stuff.
I rolled a 2, which works out to being... I stride.
Well, if you want an excuse to go to the city ship.
Yeah.
Yeah, I start running towards the city ship. It make me angry.
Yeah. Okay. Well, roll your stride.
And that's going to be... Okay, so I rolled 2 1s on my normal die and a 6 on my penalty die.
Let's have you reach the destination but inflict damage.
Okay. Am I inflicting damage on myself?
No,
Or-
this is fine. You start smashing up the city ship as you get on it. This is not a problem.
That works for me.
Yes. You land, you actually have to go up a little bit. It is floating a little bit above the ground. How do you get up? Are you a big jumper? Do you have jetpacks? What do you do to get up there?
I would think that there would probably be jetpacks on the back, but it's they're kind of cowled, and it essentially all you see coming out of them is like a heat haze rather than like the traditional fire.
Okay.
And yeah, so all you see is this giant lizard dragon looking thing run towards this ship and leap up towards it, and then kind of smash through one of the external walls.
Okay.
As they're raging.
Okay. Okay. Now, you are on the ship. We'll see what happens there. Cosmo Crab. They are just scooping the water out of the ocean, trying to get you to drop into their city ship to capture you. So they're not using they have their sort of tractor beam ships that they have sent out, these little just sort of ray gun looking ships that are floating around. But they also just have huge, just sort of essentially buckets that are picking up lots of ocean water and trying to get you. How does Cosmo Crab react to this?
A Cosmo Crab is going to try to grab onto the sea floor to try to keep himself from being pulled out because he has strong claws.
Yeah.
So in theory, when he grabs, nothing I catch can escape or be taken from me until I let go.
Ooh. That is true. I'm gonna need you to... could you make a grab roll?
Yeah, forgive me. How is size determined?
You determine it. It's -1 to +2, I believe.
Yep.
You just determine how big you want your monster to be.
Gotcha. Okay, I just didn't know the scale.
Yes.
Yeah, I think he is, pretty vast. So I was giving him a +2, knowing that may end up being an issue later.
Yes.
But all right, grab. 7.
All right. You grab your target but inflict damage. You dramatically sort of smash the ground a little bit as you are grabbing onto it. You're probably going to cause some tsunamis because of this. It's just sort of a natural side effect of what's going on with all of this. But the aliens are a little bit having some difficulty grabbing you because, as you said, you have the claws that make it so strong claws. When you grab, nothing you catch can escape or be taken from you until you let it go. Huh. I think they just keep sending more and more ships towards you, and they literally are just having no success pulling you out. So they start blasting you with their heat rays now. Yes. How do you react to that?
Well, so that I assume boils the water and means I take a point of damage. Is
It
that
does,
correct?
yes.
Now, does that mean I mark a wound or just mark on the damage track?
You mark a damage. Wounds you take when you have filled up your damage track.
Thank you.
Yes.
Okay. I mean, I will rage.
Okay.
I will rage, and I'll smash one of these critters, or one of these spaceships.
Well, you do have to roll to see what happens when you rage, if you would like.
Oh, okay. I just rolled 2d6.
No, you just roll 1d6. This is on page 3 in the rules.
Ew,
okay.
ew, I didn't print that one out. Sorry.
No, it's all good. You either smash, stride, roar, grab, block, or sniff, depending on what you roll. Also, as you rage, if you fill up your rage track, that's also your XP. So you do want to rage a lot, because that'll get you, you know, your more powers.
Okay, perfect. Let's see what happens. That's a 2.
That is stride. That means you move. You guys are setting things up perfectly here.
All right, I will stride.
Yeah.
Ooh, really good. 10, and it's plus size, so 12.
So that's
actually really bad.
That's bad for stride.
How do you
But
miss
the numbers
it
are
moving?
high on the
Ones
die.
where you succeed by getting lower.
But the numbers are so high.
The numbers are
sorry.
so high. That's sort
Totally
of
fine.
yes.
Listen, Mike wants to wind up on the alien spaceship. It's just not what Cosmocrat wants.
This is true. This is true. Yeah, I think the burning the boiling water makes you sort of weaken your grip. I think you try to escape. I don't know. I assume you're not trying to go towards the ship. You try to escape, but unfortunately, they all sort of grab you with their tractor beam ships and drop you in to their massive city ship. And then finally,
I will use my surprise to appear in any scene.
Fucking teleports behind you.
where do you
afterward.
appear? Are you?
I burst through the ground in this holding area.
You were on the spaceship.
Yep.
That's so fucking good.
Fucking awesome. Okay, sure. You have appeared. All of you have been dropped into. Well, one of you smashed into, but the others of you have been dropped into. Or, well, I guess 2 of you smashed into. I was going to say Device X0 smashed into it, but also Jeffrey kind of just showed up. You're in a massive sort of underground chamber, but maybe you don't realize that because it looks like a human city with a blue sky above you. It's almost kind of confusing. You were being brought deep underground, or under spaceship, and now you appear to be in a vast traditional human city with sort of humans wandering around and all of that stuff, and the 4 of you sort of all near each other.
So,
Oh yes, go ahead.
question:
Yes.
would this be considered would this be considered nonsensical?
Oh yeah, none
I'm
of this
asking
makes sense. None of this makes sense. Yeah.
Okay, so Device X0 is going to rage.
Why is that?
One of his triggers is he's logical, and you rage when you try to understand nonsense.
Okay. Yes, this is nonsense. Okay. I guess you're going to rage. You know, if you keep raging, the story will just happen, so.
Yeah. I rolled a 1 on that, which...
Would you smash?
Okay.
Who or what do you smash?
So what do I see, like, directly in front of me?
What do you want to see directly in front of you?
Okay, so I came in through the side of the ship.
Yeah.
And kind of smashed into this room.
Mm-hmm. You don't have a good understanding of all of it until you sniff it, unfortunately, which is the sort of examine thing, so.
Yeah. But Device X0 angry. Let's see. I think it's, at this point, just like buildings I see in front of me.
Okay.
Are there any people that are in this cityscape?
Yes, there are lots of people that are looking up and screaming.
Yeah. So I think I'm gonna go through the nearest building.
Okay.
And smash that. Ooh, there was something I was going to spend energy for. Which one was it? Actually, I'm going to spend an energy.
Okay.
I'm going to use Transform, which is my playbook ability, or playbook move, I guess. And I'm going to utilize Giant Leap.
Okay.
So I can combo Smash and Stride. As I'm basically just barreling through buildings going forward.
Got it.
So first I will roll for the Stride, because I think you still have to roll them both separately.
No, you roll them together.
Oh, cool.
You roll them together and you get whatever the result would be. Even though Smash and Stride, Smash you want to roll high to succeed, Stride you want to roll low to succeed.
Sometimes you just gotta pray for a mixed success.
Yeah, it's what I'm hoping for. So that's 9, 10, 11. So I succeeded on the Smash.
You are very successful at smashing. Everything that is in your way, you begin to smash. But I'm going to say this, in terms of your Stride, you don't get very far. In fact, you mostly maybe are getting so angry at one building in particular, you're mostly smashing it. I don't know why it's this building, but it just does not compute. And the thing that I'm going to do against you is the opening that you smashed open is starting to seal up behind you. That is going to be the sort of penalty that you're going to take for
That's fair.
failure. All right. We've got one mech monster nearby. The other three of you have been sort of dropped near the center of this city, which Device X0 is sort of on the edge of, but you probably see it. I don't know if you guys have ever dealt with each other before. Is this the first time we're having a big kaiju crossover?
Oh yeah, I'm introducing
yes.
myself in Monster.
Yeah. Okay.
Trying to shake hands, but not everybody has them.
Oh, you're trying to be friendly.
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess Jeffrey would be fully sapient on account of his probable origin story.
At least partially, I think.
Yeah, you're trying to be friendly. Okay. What?
That's actually perfectly in character with what we know.
Okay, so you're trying to be friendly. What about you, Cosmo Crab? What do you think you do to this?
Cosmo Crab is going to... He's been in cities before. He knows they're on water.
Yes.
Every city he's been to is on water.
Okay.
So he's gonna try to stride to find the pier.
Okay.
And get back to the ocean.
Makes sense.
That is a 7.
Okay. That means you reach your destination, but you inflict some damage. So, I gotta decide what that means. You can reach the destination, but you'll have to, inflict damage on one of these other kaiju here to get there. They are in the way. That is how I will do it. Or you could choose not to and not move, but...
I mean, I think that
yeah.
We'll go for Jeffrey.
Okay. Jeffrey offers his hand to you.
Yeah, exactly. And Cosmo Crab will just push him aside.
Yeah.
Which, of course, shoves him through some national landmark in the city.
Yes. Yeah, it's weird. There are national landmarks in this city. It seems like there's a Statue of Liberty, but also the White House is here. And
he shoves he shoves Jeffrey through the St. Louis Arch.
the St. Louis Arch is here. He smashes through the St. Louis Arch. Yes.
Oh, this is where Carmen Sandiego hit everything.
Yeah. Yeah, Cosmo Crab arrives at the Golden Gate Bridge and looks out at Ellis Island.
Got it. Yes. Perfect. And what about you, that which isn't? Also, Jeffrey, we'll need to get back to you in a second because you just took 1 point of damage, but we'll talk about you in a second. Yeah.
The city ship is flying, right?
Yes.
We are in the air. Okay.
Yeah. But you can't really see that. You don't, because you look like you're just inside of a amalgam of cities.
No, but I can feel the engine.
Can?
Probably. I mean, if it uses the same radiation as everything else is using.
Oh, yeah. Okay,
so
sure.
I'm gonna sniff to try and get a more exact location on where that's coming from.
Okay.
because I have a vested interest in blowing that up. Let's see, I rolled a 6 minus 1, which is a 5, which is good for sniff, I believe.
Yeah. You get an answer
Sweet.
without inflicting damage.
Where's the engine?
The engine is actually in the sky of this sort of area that you are in. It is above you. It's less of the engine and more like the power source, because that's what you're really sniffing, the radiation.
Gotcha.
So there is a power source. It's the sun. The sun that seems to be floating in the middle of the sky in this bizarre city. That is the reactor.
Oh, fuck yeah, I'm gonna blow it up.
Okay. But first, Jeffrey, you offered your hand to Cosmo Crab, and he smashed you out of the way and walked towards the ocean.
Okay, for my rage, I rolled grab, and on that
Okay.
I rolled a 7, which means
okay.
success and inflict harm. I'm
Okay.
just going to go in real hard for that handshake.
Okay. So 7 is grab your target but inflict damage.
Yes.
On a grab. So I think you grab Cosmo Crab but inflict damage to him.
Yeah, I'm just way too overeager. Like,
Yeah.
no, hello.
Okay, so we maybe have a bit of a fight starting here.
Yeah. Introduction, fight, same thing for Kaiju.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, exactly.
I want to see a little bit more of this. Then we'll get back to Device X0. How does Cosmo Crab react to being grabbed?
He do rage.
You do rage. Okay.
6 sniff.
Okay.
Huh. Okay. Well, let's see what happens.
Just trying to understand
That
what's going
is-
on. This all seems very
Yeah, that's
confusing.
fair.
Yeah.
5. Okay.
You get an answer without inflicting damage. Okay, what do you want to know? You know what? Just what do you want to know about the world? You are now trying to just understand it, and you have understood something. What do you want to know? Ask me any question about the world.
Are the people around us like people who came to fight or, be the champions, or are they like part of an illusion or something?
There's something.
What's up with these people?
These people are not. There's something wrong about these people.
Okay.
Something weird about them. They might not be actual people.
Yeah, because normally by now, if we're both here, they would have known we were coming, and they would have had their tanks and missiles and things.
Yeah, there are no tanks or missiles or anything like that.
That's super weird. 2 of us in the same place, and no response from their feeble military.
Yeah.
Something strange.
It's a buffet!
A Device X0, what do you want to do?
I think that the altercation between Jeffrey and the crab has probably gotten my attention.
Okay.
So, how far away would you guys say that you are from the edge of the city?
Well, they kind of went towards the edge of the city if they're going towards the water, so...
Yeah, okay. What I am going to do is I'm going to spend another energy.
Okay.
And
By the way, only he has energy as a robot. Don't worry, none of you are missing a special thing that says energy on your sheet.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
Yeah, robots are weird.
Yeah. And I am going to use something from the Lizard playbook. I'm going to use...
Ooh.
Yes. I am going to use Burning Breath.
Ah.
Very fitting.
And I am going to aim at the scuffling worm and crab with a, I guess, smash.
Yeah, it'll be a smash.
Yeah. That's going to be a 5. That's going to be a fail.
Why do you think it fails? Is it a mechanical malfunction, or...
Yeah, I think it's a mechanical malfunction. For some reason, the smashing through the side of the ship, I think, had knocked something loose.
Okay.
Which may or may not be unloosened at this point after this attempt, but like it didn't actually
Yeah. I will say this. It seems weird. You should be able to breathe fire, but maybe something was damaged? Yeah, it seems a little weird. Your power's not working. Bizarre. Yeah, hey, somebody do something. What happens next? If somebody's got an idea what we want to do in this fight, go ahead.
We haven't heard from that which isn't for a minute.
Yeah, we haven't.
So, I've got tentacles, and that says I can grab at a greater range.
Ooh.
You gonna grab the sun?
I don't want to grab the sun because, like, I'm weak to it,
Yes.
right?
Yes, you are.
That said, wouldn't it be fucking hilarious if I just... Oh, I can also grab multiple targets simultaneously?
Okay.
So, wouldn't it just be hilarious if I grabbed 3 random massive objects and threw them at the sun? I think that'd be funny.
3 random objects.
Yes, 3 random objects, wink.
No, it's not funny. It's a horror podcast, so it's very scary.
Okay.
How do I, let me just check real quick. Okay, grab is
Based on your size.
small. Good,
Yeah,
good. A 5, again. What the fuck?
Oh boy.
I'll take it.
So you reach out your tentacles and grab all 3 of the other kaiju?
Yep, and what... And I'm going to throw them at the sun, which I assume is a roll with something I'm worse at, probably.
It would be smash, but I think the others... Huh.
Hold on, I have an idea.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If you would like, you can get grabbed by this, or if you would like to resist in some way, you can, but you'll need to do well, because that which isn't succeeded pretty substantially.
Okay. I have an idea, but I don't know if it would actually work.
Those are the best kind of ideas.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay, fine. Hell with it. I'm gonna spend another energy.
Oh, you're just spending
Burning.
all of your energy.
Oh yeah, just burning right through that. And I want to, from the Swarm playbook, use spread out as essentially what everybody sees is apparently this giant robot dragon thing is made up of smaller miniature robots that are all like stuck together, and then they kind of just like spread out.
Fucking mana machines, son.
That was definitely a note from the toy company.
Yes.
So with spread out, you can cover entire city, but you cannot smash, stride, or block while doing so.
Okay. I would say you can also not be grabbed while you are spread out like that. So, okay. You are covering the entire city in small little robot guys. Do they look like smaller versions of the larger one, or do they all look different? Okay.
Yes, they all look like tiny winged dragons.
Okay.
Hey, Micro Machines is on the phone.
Yeah.
Micro Machines is on the phone. They want to do a tie-in with Device XO. I have an idea.
Yes.
I'm going to try to grab onto the tentacle so that when I am thrown, I am not actually released.
Sounds good.
Okay, so now we're battering ram buddies at this point. Where we can swing each other around as a weapon.
Like a bolo.
Yeah.
No, way too high. Did not succeed. That's a 13.
Oh, that's the worst you could do. Well, not quite.
No, technically I could have done one worse.
You're right. And Jeffrey, how do you react?
I am using surprise to burst from the ground. That's
What?
right, I'm a worm. I've got 2 sides.
Of your others? What?
Don't think about it. My other end is going to emerge near the thing that isn't, and smash! And I'm a worm, so it's sticky and gross.
Okay. Wait, so you were just sticking out of the dirt the whole time? You had not actually slithered all the way out? I guess that makes sense.
Yeah. Tunneler.
It's
Or digger.
Digger. Okay. I think you can try to smash that which isn't.
And I take a bonus die for using surprise.
Although that which isn't still is holding part of you.
Yes.
Trying to throw you.
13's good for smash, right?
13 is good for smash, yes.
Yeah, very much so.
Okay.
Part of me emerges from the earth and rears back and just whacks you.
Okay.
It's a wet slap noise. Very loud.
Ew.
You inflict... Do you do any extra damage when you do that, or...
I inflict damage? It doesn't say anything.
Oh, no. You take a bonus die for the roll. That is what it is. So for the smash, yes, you inflict a point of damage on that which isn't. But now that which isn't still has a hold on a couple of you guys. So...
I am going to throw them at the sun.
Okay.
God, I know I'm at a disadvantage on this one, but please, I've never wanted anything more in my life. I failed really hard. Nuts.
Okay, so just a full-on miss.
Full-on miss.
All right. Unfortunately, you're just getting wailed on too much.
Yeah.
You just can't really throw everybody at the sun. You still have grabbed them. I think you still have them in the thing there, but you just can't work up the momentum to get them up there. Sorry, my man. Or my thing.
I will say, if something I'm targeting is saved from destruction, that's my kaiju's trigger, because he's angry.
Okay. Well, I guess it's time to rage.
Time for rage! Let's see, 5. Which one is that? Block.
Okay.
Which I'm also bad at. But, I could see the advantage of not taking any damage from the things that I are currently wrestling with.
Yeah.
Holy shit, the dice hate me today.
Okay.
I failed very hard.
Oh boy.
All right. So you try to protect yourself, but honestly, you're going to have to just drop these guys. You're just too overwhelmed by all of it. Maybe you're used to fighting smaller, less powerful kaiju, but these guys are all really fucking you up. All right. Hey, Device X0, what does your swarm of little robots do?
My swarm of little robots is going to sniff the city.
Oh, okay.
Roll low. That is not low. That's an 8.
Okay.
That's a partial success.
Or, sorry, no. I was wrong. I can't count. That's a fucking fail. It's a 12.
It is a 12?
Oh.
Okay. You try to understand the city, but in fact, it's a little odd. There's something that is trying to break apart the little bits of you. I don't know how much knowledge each little piece has, but it seems like heat rays are melting some of the small little parts of your swarm, but you're not quite sure where they're coming from.
And once again, I'm assuming this situation would be considered as nonsensical, especially considering there's an Eldritch Horror that I'm also trying to understand.
Yeah, I was going to point out the Eldritch Horror if you didn't.
This is, yes, you would not be able to understand this, yes.
So angry! That's a 5.
Okay.
For my rage.
Which is a block. But I don't think you can block when you're a swarm, right?
I do not think so. No, I cannot.
Yeah.
So would this force you to coalesce and then block?
Yeah, I think I will coalesce and then block, because like this is not making sense. Parts of me are getting hurt. I'm angry. And that's 3 rage out of 5.
Okay.
Basically, Device X0 kind of coalesces back into one critter, mechanical critter, is like standing there kind of just on guard, protecting itself.
Okay. How about you, Jeffrey? Half of you is being, well, it was being held onto by that which isn't. What do you do in this situation?
Jeffrey will tunnel beneath the earth to his den. Nothing else can reach my underground den, and anything I take there cannot escape it. I am not taking anything there at the moment.
So you just go hide underground?
Yeah.
My
Gonna take a breather.
Bounced.
Okay, just I'm out of here. As you go deeper, it stops being dirt and very quickly becomes metal. Like space metal.
Unfortunate.
Which I don't know if you're as good as at digging through.
I mean, it'll take a while.
And Cosmo Crab. I know you were holding on to that which isn't.
No.
trying.
That which isn't just holding on to me. I was not able to grab them.
Oh, you weren't able
And
to
then-
grab them. That's what it was. Yeah.
And then that which isn't dropped it, so...
Yes.
Okay. Back to the sea.
Back to the sea.
Gonna go. I'm gonna try to stride and go under the water.
Yeah. Okay.
It's an 11. It's way bad. I fall into Jeffrey's hole.
You fall into Jeffrey's hole.
Donk.
And you also hit the space metal at the bottom
Dong.
of this weird city.
Okay, sounds good.
Yes. You know what? I want you to try to block the damage from your fall.
Oh, sure.
Yeah, roll to block.
Mixed, I believe. That is a 7.
Okay.
The damage is deflected to the nearest available target.
So, which means that you hit Jeffrey. You do
Bonk.
1
Yep.
damage to Jeffrey from falling down on top of him.
All right then.
Anytime you
means-
take damage, you can rage if you would like.
Oh, I'll
have
absolutely
to,
rage.
though.
Why wouldn't I?
Okay. Okay.
This Cosmo Crab Jeffrey fight has absolutely been re-uploaded to YouTube with yakety sax below it.
Yes.
100%.
This time I
It's
am
going
sniffing.
pretty well until they were attacked by a giant eldritch tentacle swarm.
That's true for so many things, isn't it?
All right, I rolled a 7 for my sniff. I think I'm trying to figure out this space metal.
Okay.
Yeah. What's happening here? Some sort of space metal.
Yeah, it seems like the space metal is trying to recreate dirt. It's constantly like pushing out new dirt, which is a little weird. It seems like this space metal is like creating things for you to be inside of, but it itself on the edge is messing with you. It says you inflict damage. Do you want to inflict damage on the space metal or on the crab that just landed on you?
Space
Hello.
metal.
Okay. What is your main way of attacking things, I guess, Mr. Wormbo? Do you just smash it with your head? Like, what do we...
Yeah, big gross wet slaps.
Big, gross, wet
God.
slaps.
Yeah.
Ew.
You know what? I think you smash it and you start dealing damage to it so much that you break through it slightly. And you see on the other side, or maybe you feel, because like I assume you have some sort of what D&D they would call tremor sense. I don't know about your eye situation. There are hundreds of small humanoid things on the other side of the wall.
Perfect. I'm sure they're delicious.
They feel different than the humans that the hairless apes you've eaten before. But I will say this as well, Cosmo Crab, you see that there are a bunch of little green guys on the other side of this space metal wall.
I'm gonna try to smash through the wall as well.
Okay.
Eight.
That means you
Exchange
do damage,
damage.
but so these little guys who have now seen what is going on, many of them are running away, and you see spider tanks that are these spider walkers that are arriving and are starting to blast heat rays towards you to try to force you back. They are unable to. You smash through the wall, and in fact smash through several of these things, but they do damage you a bit.
All right. This is weirdly, I mean, he's gonna rage, but it's weirdly kind of comforting.
Yes.
Because, like, yes, this is the response I expected.
Yes.
I'll determine, I'm gonna roll to see what the rage is, and then we can move
Yeah.
on to someone else.
Okay.
Sniff.
Okay.
Okay, I'll figure out how to rationalize that while we see what someone else is doing.
Sounds good. All right. Back on the surface, in air quotes, that which isn't and device X0. What are either of you up to something?
I think what device X0 is going to do is they are going to smash the thing that tried to grab them. Also, I have a question.
Okay.
Being on like this whole situation, would this count as me not being able to, like, being denied what I want? Considering what I want is to basically just destroy the natural creatures on Earth. Considering I know that the quote-unquote humans that are here aren't necessarily,
Did
right?
you figure that out yet? Did you figure out that they're not
no, I
really
have not.
humans?
Never
You've
mind.
not figured that out.
Yeah, I'm a smash the Eldritch Horror.
Okay.
Yeah, I rolled an 11 to smash the Eldritch Horror.
Okay.
I guess I should block.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's not gonna go well, and I believe I'm dead if it doesn't work. I rolled a 6. Oof.
Oh no, I don't want you to die, but I guess that's kind of how this goes.
You can.
I have 2 options. At least I think I've hit 4. I should have been keeping track of that better. But because your options when you die are you could retreat, which is you're out of play for the current session. But this is a one shot, so like that's still the whole. Or you could killed. You could get killed, and you can save or destroy one other thing. Narrate how you do so. That narration cannot be overturned by any other narration, action, or moves during the session. So you know what? I think my thing is smart enough to realize an approximation of the situation, and since it occurs to it that it is, at this point, very much dying, it decides, you know what? If I'm not going home, no one else is either. And I fucking reach up and rip the sun from the sky and smash it into the ground.
Yes, the radiation consumes your tentacles as you wrap around it. But as the sun hits the ground, the entire land that you are in begins to shake as the reactor for the city ship is broken. In fact, the whole area that you are in right now begins to fade away. Or at least you, it fades away for you, that which isn't, because you're dying. Although, I don't know if you could ever truly die. If you're a Cthulhu, but Device X0, this whole city around you is now, nothing is moving anymore. There were like birds in the air, there's people running around and screaming. Now none of that is happening anymore. Everything is sort of still for just a moment. The sun is out, so there's no light, except for then you start seeing small like red lights flashing everywhere, like sort of emergency lights. And then the entire thing begins to shake and you begin to fall as the spaceship begins to fall out of the sky.
None of this makes sense.
You're damn right.
None of this makes sense. a 6 on a rage.
Okay, that's sniff. So you're trying to understand.
Yeah, now I'm trying to understand why none of this makes sense. That's an 11, which I do believe that's sniff is a low.
Yeah, so still doesn't make sense.
Yeah, no.
I think as it shakes, I think you probably are, in fact, the ground itself is starting to break down beneath you as this entire city begins to break apart, kind of like the way that you were breaking apart into smaller bits. This begins to break apart into like a gray goo that you sort of are falling down inside of.
Does not compute?
Do you want to rage again?
Well, I
You
kind
have
of
to have
do.
leveled up at some point, right?
Well, that's basically, if I rage again, I level up.
Okay. We'll have you rage one more time, then we'll cut back to the guys in the other part of the ship.
I'm gonna sniff it again.
You rolled sniff again.
Yep. And that'll be an 8.
All right. You get the answer, but inflict damage. Nanomachines. Like, this whole city was I think your computer is realizing what this is. It's identifying, it has similarities to the sort of smaller bots that you made. this whole thing is made out of microscopic robots that are copying, sort of poorly copying, Earth cities. It's sort of like, if you were to like listen to what their people are saying, it's like that episode of Rick and Morty with my man, sort of thing. Also, this entire thing is falling down as the ship is crashing into the ground, which seems like it will be bad for you, Earth, everybody on this ship. It's bad in general. Probably, yeah. But
I'm indestructible, so...
You know what? You literally have the trait indestructible, so nothing's going to stop you.
I'm going to take an ability from my playbook.
Okay.
I'm going to take Reboot.
And you're getting that because you've raged enough to level up?
Yep.
Okay.
So what Reboot does is power down to regain all of your energy, but you reboot with no memory of your past.
What?
Oh boy.
So, yup. So,
God.
Device X0 is overwhelmed by everything that's going on right now, and it basically a forced reset happens, and he reboots.
All right.
And wakes up very confused as soon as it's his next time to act. So
then
whoever's going
you're
next.
just gonna rage some more, probably.
Back to factory settings.
Yeah. All right. Down in the underbelly of this spaceship, which is now falling out of the sky, what do Jeffrey and /or Cosmo Crab do?
Oh, I got something.
Well, I had.
Oh.
I'll go ahead and roll that sniff because now I know what I'm spending the sniff on.
Oh, yeah, got it. Right.
Why
we have
is
sniff
everything
ready.
suddenly?
Yeah.
So I'll just roll that real quick. 7 to try to figure out what's going on.
Okay. Yeah. You get your answer and you inflict damage. So you could choose how you would like to inflict damage here. Could even be a good thing if you would like.
I'll rip open the floor of the spaceship to see below to see that we're falling.
Yeah, you're falling. And here's the thing, my man. My crab, my crustacean. That's the ocean down there that you're falling out on. You're right on the coast of... You know what? You're gonna land in the Gulf of Mexico, and this city ship is about the size of the Gulf of Mexico that you're falling into.
Neat.
Well, the good news for me is I'm immune to damage from explosions, but it does sound like this might boil some water.
Yeah.
Jeffrey, go ahead and go
Yeah.
do what you were gonna do.
All right, so he's breaking through the floor, and the city up top is, getting destroyed. Jeffrey's wriggling his way through this space metal towards this feast that's arrayed before him. Power goes out. Emergency lighting comes up. Of course, it's red, and you see Jeffrey smile, just amidst this crowd of little green gender-not-specific people. And he's just going to go to town.
He's just gonna start eating everybody.
Yeah.
So when you said you had a plan, not to fix the falling ship.
Hey, Jeffrey's real... He's just got some real munchies right now.
Yeah. Jeffrey's all about eating. Okay.
You know what? God bless him.
We respect.
All right. Jeffrey, you can eat these guys without rolling. I think you are
Okay.
successful at eating these guys. They cannot resist you.
And I'm going to heal a damage because what he wants is food.
Oh, when you get what you want, you heal? Okay.
Yep.
Device X0 or Cosmo Crab. What do we do?
Cosmo?
I'm gonna try to smash and try to tear the ship in half so at least the two separate halves fall onto the land parts.
Oh, yeah.
And-
don't hurt my ocean.
Don't hurt my ocean. I want two giant hunks of spaceship to land where all the people are and not where my beautiful fish are.
Hit Texas and the Yucatan.
You're right, exactly. Those are not the most cinematic places to drop a ship, so we'll see what actually happens.
Oh,
I
yeah.
think it'll be more like Into Darkness, where the ship lands in the water, it's cool and dramatic.
Yeah.
Or, ideally it would land right next to Disney World, but we'll see what happens when I
Oh,
smash.
fuck. Yeah, no, you're right. You are right. It is probably going to have to land near Disney World. Thank you for that.
One near Disney World, one on the Panama Canal.
Yes. Okay, thank you.
I have friends who work at Disney World.
I like Disney World, but Cosmo Crab. Oh no! Oh no! Oh, this is an important roll. That's a 6.
Sorry, my man.
He's just tumbling around inside the spaceship as it's in freefall.
Yes. That's all it is. Yeah. Device X0, what do you do as the ship is in free fall?
Device X0 reboots,
Okay.
comes back to, I'm presumably surrounded by gray goo, and
Yes.
feeling like they're falling, which, no, none of this makes sense. God damn it. I rolled a sniff again.
Well, you gotta understand what's going on.
And, like, I don't remember from before.
You're just a robot that's, like, constantly trying to figure out what's going on. Somebody asks you to define what love is.
And I rolled a 9.
Which means you understand what was already told to
Yeah,
you.
I figured it out again. So that'll be a rage.
Okay.
I am, however, going to spend an energy.
Okay. You also could do damage because you rolled a 9, right?
Yeah.
So you could smash...
But,
but
as they're sniffing, they're kind of just, like, flailing, and anything potentially in their way is being destroyed.
Mhm.
However, I am going to try the whole burning breath thing again with that energy that I just spent.
Okay.
He's going to direct it directly, at least, well, from what he can feel, is up.
Okay.
Big numbers. That's a 9. So medium numbers.
Medium numbers.
We take those.
You start we got one person breaking the ship apart effectively, or one kaiju. The other two not so much. Unfortunately, in the free fall, you are going to take damage.
Oh, yeah.
Though I guess you don't take damage, you just take a penalty on your
Yep.
next die because you don't take damage.
But yeah, so essentially, I don't know how far it goes through the ship, but there's this, like, heat ray that comes out of my mouth and just goes, like, directly upwards.
Yeah, I mean, the structural integrity of the ship is really breaking apart, but it's not quite there yet. I'm gonna say everybody could maybe do one more thing before the spaceship hits the Earth. Jeffrey, what are you doing?
Going to town. I think maybe I'm burrowing through the ship to search out more food so I could roll a stride there.
Yeah, just moving around trying to find stuff.
Yeah. 9.
Okay. You reach your destination, but you also inflict damage, so you actually are breaking the ship apart.
Yes, and I'm also finding more food.
Yes. We see you move past a computer screen that is inexplicably still on. You don't understand what it means, but, like, the audience does. And it shows all 4 of the kaiju on, like, the computer screen, and it says, organism scanned, uploading. And then you start smashing things apart or whatever, but it's like, ooh, what does that mean? That's kind of menacing. Cosmo Crab, what do you do? You're about to hit the ground or the ocean.
I'm gonna block.
You know what?
I'm gonna
That's
try
a
to
pretty
block.
good idea.
That makes sense. Yeah.
6.
My sympathies.
You do not block. All right. And
Just bouncing around inside the spaceship.
Device X0?
So we're just about to hit the water?
Yeah, you're about to hit you're about to fill up the Gulf of Mexico.
What sort of weird shit can I do? You know what? Little does anybody know, and this happens basically when the ship touches down. Little did anybody know, even, like, the people who had heard about Device X0 in the past. I'm going to spend an energy to do this, but Device X0 is actually amphibious.
Of course, why not?
And ends up, like,
Naturally.
diving into the Gulf, just before the ship kind of hits, to kind of, like, swim away, try to get to a safer spot.
Okay.
So that's going to be a stride.
Okay.
which I roll an 8.
An 8. All right. And I'm sorry, you said you used energy for that, and then you just strode? What a move
So
did you take?
the move that I took is amphibious. You can move in water as easily as on land.
Okay.
And then, yeah, the action that I did was a stride.
Okay, gotcha. Great. So you inflict damage, but also move out a little bit from this crashing ship. What do you want to inflict damage on?
I think what happens is where I inflict damage is there's a pier nearby, like where I come out of the water, and I just kind of like demolish a good chunk of it.
It was said, and I have to respect it because it's a good idea. You're coming up on Orlando. I know that's not super close to the water, but it's close enough to the water. Yeah, you're right at a big ass theme park.
That works.
I use surprise, bursting through the ground.
No, you can't. You can't do that
Any
every
scene,
single
Daniel.
time.
Any scene.
But you're already established in the scene. I guess we last saw you were moving away. I'm going to have you and the crustacean take 1 point of damage as this thing hits the ground and, like, shakes the earth.
Gotcha.
Okay.
I will rage when I hit the ground.
Yeah.
Smash.
I rolled a sniff for my rage.
You guys got to stop rolling 6s on your rage.
Look, sometimes the dice don't want the story to be dramatic. The dice want the story to be stupid.
Well, we've certainly handled that.
And I frankly can't think of anything more appropriate for a big old dumb kaiju slugfest, you know?
Yeah.
Then smashing around in Disney World.
Yeah.
I rolled a miss on my sniff, so I hit the ground. I'm like, what's going on? I have no
Yeah,
idea.
You have no idea what's going
Smacks
on.
the ground. What the fuck was that?
This ground is different than the other ground.
Yes. Fucking crushing spaceship Earth at Epcot. That's the big ball,
Yeah.
for those who don't know. How about you, Cosmo Crab? You failed to block, so you take 1 damage, and then do you rage?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
I rage and I rolled for smash.
Okay. And how'd you do?
Well, I haven't rolled the smash yet,
Okay,
but I'm
well, let's
gonna
see.
I'm gonna try to tear through Disney MGM Studios, which is the big Mickey hat. 9. Oh no. I now have those. This is exchange damage, but I now have those little gray circles of health. How does that work?
That means you're gonna die. Because the gray health, I believe, is the health you can get. That's the damage shields you could get as you level up.
Oh no, I don't have those.
Unfortunately, I think you might be impaled on the big Mickey hat.
The most skills another project.
Well, actually, no. So this is what happens, because this actually might be the time to do it. When you run out of all your damage, you could choose to either retreat, or you could be killed and then narrate anything you want to happen.
I will retreat.
Okay.
There's a big body of water
Yes.
on the map for
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll retreat into the Swantlands.
Into the Florida swamps. And you have a Mickey hat sticking out of you for a little bit. Until you knock it off.
Alrighty.
And finally, device X0, you swum away, and you, I guess, is this wrapping everything up? Huh.
Pretty close, too. I think it's just myself and Jeffrey left.
Yeah, how do you guys sort of wrap up your kaiju-ness?
So, I'm gonna spend another energy.
Okay,
This time, I'm dipping into the Unspeakable playbook.
okay.
And it turns out that Device X0 actually had an underground cult of people that worshipped it.
Your guy is ridiculous. You have every power. It's so stupid.
I feel like I know it's weird to say that a game that's using an earlier version of a system that's like 10 years old at this point or something. Yeah. It's a bit ridiculous to say that something in that is unbalanced, but Transform feels a touch unbalanced.
It does. It does. Well, honestly, it's transform combined with reboot. Because if it was just transform...
Yeah, because he was out of energy, but then he rebooted and got all of his fucking energy back.
Invulnerable too. Just the whole mech playbook is honestly kind of...
I mean, Mecha-Godzilla is pretty strong.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he always gets fucking killed.
This is
But
true.
then he comes
I
back.
burst from the ground, interrupting this conversation.
Oh my god.
It relates. Yeah, so my random cult has... I would say that they're attacking Jeffrey, but it's up to what they want to do. So, MC, what's your call on that?
I think that they are... I think this cult that you have established is less of a cult and more of you have infected people around the world with, like, your nanomachines. And, like, they are sort of activating to sort of serve you. That is how that's going to work. But I think mostly they'd be trying to fix you, is what I think is going to happen. I think they are going on top of you, trying to buff out your damage, and I know technically you don't take damage, but I think that's what they would be doing. I don't think they would attack Jeffrey, necessarily.
That's fair.
So, the very bizarre image, though, of, like, a bunch of people running up on the sides of this robot dragon and trying to repair it. And then Jeffrey pops out. What does Jeffrey do when he pops out one last time?
I think there's just a little vignette. There's the small enclave of survivors. Well, we might be all that's left. I guess we got a lot of work to do. And then the ground starts rumbling, and Jeffrey bursts from the ground and devours everyone.
All right. And I think I think that sort of ends our thing here. We get a news report like a week later. Recovery efforts are ongoing here in Orlando, but the alien menace has been destroyed. It appears their hubris in dealing with Earth's greatest creatures was punished. I suppose we will need to be ready for them the next time they come, and be ready for those who could have destroyed us and may still yet. And then we pan out. We start zooming out. We zoom out into space. We zoom out. We go further back until we see a planet that's full of all of these little alien folks that we saw before. And you see they are constructing something. And it's a thing that is robotic, but also covered in tentacles.
I burst from the ground.
Oh, no! Fuck off! No. Thanks for listening, Gameras, Gojiras, and Monsters X. Our cast this week featured special guest Mike Christensen of the SupergeekMike YouTube channel. If you like D&D advice, actual play analysis, and even more great tabletop RPG content, look no further than his excellent channel, and his Patreon too. This week's Game Master was me, but this week I was also the editor, so if it sounds a little off, blame me. You can send your blame to @LOTR_Dan on Twitter. Our other players were the usual band of misfits: Russell, who still doesn't do social media, Nathan, who's over at the Kingdom Hearts: A Forgotten Era podcast, and Damien, who streams on Twitch at Magical Hack. That's magic with a K at the end because it's fancy. Just a friendly reminder that we want you to join us on our Daniel's Dread Tales Discord. Come on by and say hello. You could find a link to it on our episode description or on our Twitter at Dan's Dread Tales, all one word. We're going to be having folks vote on what episodes you want us to record next, so get in on that and influence the show. Finally, I'm just going to be straight about this. Please review us 5 stars on your app of choice, but ideally the Apple Podcast app. Yeah, it's a whole silly thing, but get that algorithm to give us some support. We'd like more people to hear the show. We'll see you in 2 weeks on October 6th for a one-on-one game of god-killing action and a crossover with our friends over at Dice Fiends, part of the Imaginary Broadcast Network. Have a Godzilla-rific day. Goodbye.